Let's go ahead and add some content within our head tags. This content gives the browser more information about the web page itself. Apart from a couple of small parts, when you view the web page, you do not see this information. The first piece of information we'll add is the character set of the file itself. There's quite a few different character sets, and I'm not going to go into them in this video, but suffice to say, the most commonly used is UTF-8. We specify to the browser that this is the character set that we want to use by using what we call a meta tag. We open our angular brackets, type meta, and then use our attributes to specify what it is we want the browser to know. In this case, it's character set. The attribute for that is char set. We put our equals and our quotes, and then we type UTF-8 to specify a UTF-8 file. Elements in the head are special in the fact that they don't contain any content within them. Like this example, we don't need a closing element. We can just write our end angular bracket. Another meta element that we add to the head to give the browser information is the viewport meta element. Your website or app will be viewed on many different devices, some of which will have what we call retina screens. This means they'll have more pixels per area than other screens, more dots that display our website. It's preferable to normalize this for all devices, so what we build is displayed at a standard size. Otherwise, on a retina screen, like an iPhone for example, our website can appear very small and zoomed out. This next element that we're going to type tells the browser to normalize this size and make one pixel appear the same across all devices, regardless of each individual's pixel density. Again, it's a meta tag. The name attribute is viewport, and then the content attribute has width is device width, and then we add a comma and say the initial scale is 1. Don't worry if you don't remember this. When it comes to making web pages, we tend to write the head information only once, so you can usually just copy it from the last web page that you created. One last meta element that we're going to add to our head is for the description of the website. Descriptions are important. Not only do search engines like Google read this information to see what the HTML page is about, they also display this information in the search results. So here we type our meta, the name is description, and the content is a description of the page that we're on. All we have to remember with the content within this attribute is that it needs to be unique. Copying content directly from the web page itself, for instance, if we had a descriptive paragraph in here, isn't useful, as search engines are very good at picking up on that and lowering search result status because of it. Just describe your web page within the content part of this meta tag. All the information that we've written so far isn't viewable when we save this page and it gets updated in the browser. Let's take a look at a couple of things that we put inside the head that you might see when viewing this web page. The first one is the title. If you have a tab open in your browser, you might notice that there are some words that come up that tell you what web page you're on. This is what we put here, the title of the website. We can put whatever we want inside the title element, but notice that it does have content, so it needs that closing element as well. Every website or app also has an icon. You might see it when you have lots of tabs open in your browser. Different platforms have different standards for these, but a website standard is what we call a Fav icon. This needs to be in the file format of a .ico. If you look in your project files, there is already one there for you. And because this is in the directory of the website, the browser uses it automatically, so we don't need to do anything. But for instance, if we have an iPhone, that will need a specific format. So we need to tell an iPhone where it can find its icon. We do this with the link element. We use the rel attribute, which is the relationship between the current document and the file. Here, it's an Apple Touch icon that we're specifying. Then we use an href attribute. This is a hyperlink reference. So this is where we put the path to the file. Here, it's icon.png. Again, because there's no content within this link element, we don't need to add a closing element to it. There are lots of different icons for different platforms and devices. In the resources, you can find a link that generates all the icons for you and the code that you put in your head to go alongside it. The link element is important, and we'll be coming back to it later when we start using CSS. But for now, let's move on to the next chapter and start looking at content elements for our web page.
Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified with my latest videos and updates.